Bitcoin targets $97,000. What's going on in the crypto world? You wanna know? Then smash the like button. It's time for Crypto News, crypto to the max. Bitcoin fighting in the $68,000 the last couple of days, and as we record between 65, 66, we'll see about that. Consider that again we had a fourth day of outflows for those ETFs and Grayscale, the fight we have every day, and still people selling to the whales. You can see wallets from 0 to 100 Bitcoin selling to addresses with more than 100 Bitcoin. So yeah, we're still in the same, and we are so concerned today because we broke this line in the dollar in a positive way, and this is bad for us because remember, then stock market goes down. We'll see if it's just something for today, maybe the weekend. We'll rest the market, and then on Monday we go back again. We said in previous videos that in an election year, watch all our previous videos, stock market tends to go higher, but we'll see about that. And today's target is $97,000 for Bitcoin, even though we are going down. Titan of Crypto is telling us that due to Tenkan candles here, you can see with this Ikimoku analysis that the blue flag will target $97,000. So maybe we just need to be patient. And today is a video for considering that some of the most important people out there are talking about precisely Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokenization. This is not your friend Rodri anymore telling you 7 years, 1,800 videos, but this time is the CEO of BlackRock telling you. Let's listen to him.
And we believe it's so important to be anticipating the next move. I would also say on the beginnings of a ETF Bitcoin, we believe ETFs are a technology no different than Bitcoin was a technology for asset storage. We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification. We could rid ourselves of all issues around illicit activities about bonds and stocks and digital by having a tokenization. But the most importantly thing, we could customize strategies through tokenization that fits every individual. We would have instantaneous settlement. Think about all the costs of settling bonds and stocks. But if you had a tokenization, everything would be immediate because it's just a line item. And so we believe this is a technological transformation for financial assets. I believe if you want to talk about voting and voting choice and all the things, if we know every moment who is the owner of that stock and it's now time to vote, every individual who has ownership is identified and they can vote their own share.
We are there halfway in the ETF revolution. That's the idea for Larry Fink. Awesome stuff. And consider that BlackRock presented a fund for digital assets on Ethereum, $100 million there. That's so funny. It's flooded with meme coins, NFTs, etc., etc. So you can go to the address and you can see that a lot of jokers just send some meme coins, NFTs, and things like that. Remember, you always can go to dextools.io to learn about those tokens. Also, we have one called BlackRock. So if you go to DexTools, of course, you can find that BlackRock token. But remember, those are scams. You can make some money, but also you can see here one of them. You can lose everything, pumps and dumps. Go to dextools.io, you learn there, and also we can take the opportunity today here to learn about etherscan.io. For the ones that doesn't know about this, you can explore the Ethereum and other blockchains. And here we have the contract address for BlackRock Digital Asset Fund, and there you can see all the tokens they have beyond the $99 million they have in USDC and some Ethereum. So awesome stuff. Also 42 tokens. I wonder if we should send hours too. So funny stuff and good news for Ethereum in the long term, in my opinion. You can see that even though we are between 40,000 and 4,000 and 3,000, well, with this like some kind of backing from BlackRock, price of Ethereum might at some point go higher. Maybe it's not yet because they don't want it to be, because maybe they are buying in the shadows, in the shades. And we'll see when we have this approval for the ETF in spot in United States. It might be crazy. So crazy that if we bounce in the RSI point, as we said yesterday, maybe we draw now the same way we did with the candles for Ethereum. Well, that would bring us in 47 days. That would be May the 5th with Star Wars Day at $6,000. Awesome stuff. I'm still greedy, but not extreme greedy like the market. You can see we have red and we have green. We have some mixed sentiment in the bubbles today. And some of you ask me about when is it the altcoin going to explode. We told you in previous videos, but here Stock Money Lizards sums up it very well. You can see season 2016, 20, and 24. First, we have a short sell off. Then we have this neckline. We have a prolonged week of accumulation, and then the breakout, and we go crazy up. So this will happen. In next videos, I will tell you precisely, as you asked me, what happened with the timing of Bitcoin and altcoins. Even though in previous videos, you have that information, we will sum it up again. Watch all crypto news. Remember to smash the like button if you want to know everything about the crypto world. Remember, in yesterday's video, we told you that maybe we are back on $73,000 on 14 days, but we might have to wait 63. Watch the video. Do not miss that one. Also, we compare the situation right now with 2017, and you can see that more and more this chart is being similar. That would mean no good things for Bitcoin. We'll see about that. And again, today, let's keep on learning why Bitcoin is the best digital asset in opinion of Michael Saylor. Well, we have here this very, very interesting interview. Let's listen to some of the minutes out there.
Well,
thanks for having me, Julie.
so I want to start. I know that you're bullish on Bitcoin. I think everyone knows by now that you see a long-term store of value in Bitcoin. And you have said that you see it as digital property as opposed to thinking of it as a digital currency. So if you could help me understand, as you add more to the company's balance sheet, what the sort of end game is for those holdings on MicroStrategy's balance sheet.
Yeah, well, we think Bitcoin is the highest form of property. It's the apex property in the world, and it's the best investment asset. So the end game is to acquire more Bitcoin.
End game, more
whoever
Bitcoin.
gets the most Bitcoin wins.
Well,
there is no other end game.
But Michael, I guess what I'm trying to understand is, so if I think of it as digital property, and I think of analogies, right? I think of a real estate company that buys property and holds on to other kinds of property. They may not be the apex, but whatever kinds of property. I think of an asset manager that buys all kinds of different assets. Eventually, they sell those assets in order to make profits. But I don't think that is your end game, right? You're not planning to sell the Bitcoin at any point. So kind of
Never.
What is the purpose of it over time?
Well, let's keep in mind the fundamental principle. What's the use case of Bitcoin? It's capital preservation. So if you have $1 billion and you live in South America, or you live in Asia, or you live in Africa, and you want the capital to last for 100 years, you're not going to want to buy $1 billion company or $1 billion building or $1 billion of land in any place in Africa. You're going to have to find some other form of property that you can hold for a long period of time. Let's take New York City. Developers of New York City in 1776 didn't have an end game. They've been raising capital to invest in New York City real estate at the all-time high for 300 years. If you went and talked to them today and you said, what's your end game? They would say, well, we're going to keep investing in New York City. If you've ever talked to a person that owned an apartment in New York City, no one aspires to hold the apartment for a few years, sell the apartment, and move out of New York City. They put it in their will. They give it to their children. And if you ask them why, they say there's no better place on earth to live than New York. There is no place up from there. So New York City is the end game for people that want to live in the greatest city in North America. Bitcoin is the end game for anybody that wants to own the greatest property in the 21st century.
Well, I guess that is the case, but is there a price at which you would consider selling some of the Bitcoin, pulling out? So, I mean, because you can do something with New York City. You can live in New York City. You can have a business in New York City. What do you do with the Bitcoin besides it just gather value?
Well, the real estate developers in New York City, they're not buying the real estate because they want to live in it. They're buying the real estate because they expect
because
that
they
it's
want
going
to
to
sell it eventually,
desirable.
Michael. I mean, let's be honest. Most of the people who are, yes, sure, some people pass it on to their children, but like most of the people who are buying assets at some point want to sell the assets at a profit. So
let me say it a different way.
Okay.
People that use fiat currency as a store of value, there's a name for them. We call them poor.
Poor people.
Okay. Anybody that's rich in the world, they own property. They own large swathes of land. The royal family of England, it didn't sell all of its property in central London in order to buy, currency or paper money. Nor did the royal family of Japan. Nor did the royal family in the Middle East. In fact, they want to own the property forever. I want you to imagine Bitcoin is. It's a city in cyberspace that's 276 blocks wide, 276 blocks high, 276 blocks deep, about 21 million blocks. Now imagine all 8 billion people in the world want to live there one day. They want to put their capital there. There's $900 trillion of wealth in the world. As people migrate from every other form of property and they've assets into cyberspace, you're going to see the Bitcoin network go from $1 trillion network to a 10x that to 100x that. And there really is nowhere else to go. It is the apex property of the human race.
So at some point, as the value of the Bitcoin on MicroStrategy's balance sheet grows, both because it's growing in absolute terms and maybe you're adding more to it, do you at some point down the line see being able to use it to transact, to invest in the business, to pay out a special dividend to investors, to buy other businesses?
We believe that the highest, best use of capital is to buy Bitcoin and hold the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is going to appreciate in value faster than the S&P index. It's going to appreciate in value faster than commercial real estate. And so there's no point in selling the winner to buy the losers. And Bitcoin is the winner. And so we're just going to keep acquiring Bitcoin with our cash flows, with equity or capital raises, any other accretive method that comes to mind.
So very, very interesting. You can see that Michael Saylor will never sell, and he explained us here why. So finally, you have all the explanation. Here, another piece from Michael Saylor. They have more to fear by not embracing Bitcoin than by embracing it. So yeah, things are changing out there. And you can see, if you want, here this Bitcoin and Nvidia comparison with gold. And you can see how the store of value of gold is getting less and less interesting over time. Also, we have here Nayib Bukele telling us that maybe you don't know that the government of United States really keeps printing in limited amounts of money out of thin air. Can the government keep on doing that? Yes, it can. So here in this clip, I'm gonna leave it for you in the description below. He will tell you that you can believe that governments are doing things with your taxes, but it's just an illusion, because they have the machine. They can print all they want, so they keep you in the belief that those taxes and fighting those taxes is something interesting when they have a printer. Bitcoin is the solution for all this. Thank you very much, Nayib Bukele. Again, you have the link in the description below if you want to listen to him. And be careful out there, even though we are learning, even though we want to be first one in this revolution, because we have a lot of scam out there, scammers, people trying to trick you. And now, YouTube guilty with this trial with the co-founder of Apple, Steve Wozniak. So he's now victorious. We'll see how this ends in the future. But YouTube allegedly needs to be able of not allowing these scams in the platform. Very, very controversial and interesting topic. How can, with AI, etc., these platforms fight scammers out there? Remember, we are close to our goals, but sometimes it feels like this cat. We are close, but no cigar. What about these two? They know that Bitcoin is the love of our life, our partner, like Michael Saylor will put it, hearts all over with these cats. And these two, they want other kind of love, not just Bitcoin. We need some oxytocin and some other endorphins, etc., that come from good loving out there. Or maybe you love making jokes. Well, here you have this cat enjoying how this guy is pranking him with the ducks, or maybe this other one just playing around, fooling around, because he bought Bitcoin and now he's fat and happy out there just playing. Maybe you want to eat a salad or some other kind of plants today. Well, do whatever you want. Just be happy. That's our recommendation here in the channel. Also, to keep on learning artificial intelligence in our AI channel, and also maybe more crypto news with these two videos. Here in Crypto News with Rodrigo Arnido, health, money, love, poor in peace, and the best is yet to come. To the moon!